Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today it's an exciting video. It's just gonna be me sitting down and talking to you guys, but it is gonna be an apartment hunting video. To be honest, I didn't film very well because like a lot of the apartments we went to, they had like the tenants still living in them. So like all the stuff was in there. I didn't really want to like intrude on like anybody's privacy. So like just be warned, the clips are so bad. Like I looked back at them and I was like, oh my god, what the heck was I doing? I was not filming properly. Please just write it off as like I haven't filmed in so long. So that is what happened. But anyways, so there are largely two systems of renting in Korea. There's the jeonse system and the 월세 system. And the jeonse system is basically you put down a huge sum of money at the beginning. It's like a certain percentage of like the actual house price and you get the entire thing back at the end. So a lot of people, what they do with this is they actually take out a loan from the bank and just pay off the interest as like their rent technically. So that is the jeonse system. And for the 월세 system, which is what I'm doing now, we have like a key deposit and then we have like the monthly rent that you guys are usually probably aware about. So the key deposit is like a larger sum of money. It's smaller than jeonse, but it's still a pretty large amount of money that you put down at the start of your rent and then you get that back at the end of your rent. So for example, for this apartment, I have 5 million key deposit. So this 5 million key deposit, I'm gonna take it back when I leave this house. And in addition to that, I also pay 550,000 worth of rent for this house, plus 70,000 in maintenance fees. So those are my like monthly expenses, basically the rent plus the maintenance fees. So this apartment is actually considered to be on the cheaper side, especially for its size. If you guys are curious as to what my apartment looks like, go watch my moving in vlog that I filmed like 2 years ago. But that's basically my apartment right now. Although I do love this apartment, it's giving very dollhouse vibes. I don't like the fact that my ceiling is kind of slanted, so like when you go to the sides of my apartment, I have to like crouch down. Like the lowest part is like to my thigh, so like I can't really like go there without like sitting on the floor, which is a little bit like, it was fun, you know, it was fun during like the first few months, like oh my god, I live in a little dollhouse. But now like I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but like my back is like not loving it, so I decided that it is time for me to move. So when I started my search, I looked at apartments with a key deposit of around 10 million won, and then my rent, ideally, I want it to be around 800,000 to 900,000 won. But like if needed, I could stretch it up to 1 million won. Like a house is like really important to me. Like I really want my own nice space, especially since I work from home most of the time. So investing in like a house is like fine for me. So my max budget is 1 million won for rent. So that is just to give you guys an idea of like my price point. So all of the apartments I'll be showing you will be within that price point, or at least like somewhere near that. So in total, I looked at 8 apartments. So let us move into looking at the houses. So the first house that I went to was a 1.5 room is what we call it here in Korea. And it was really nice. It was a brand new building. It was the facilities were really clean, but it wasn't as, I guess, big as I hoped it would be. This was actually, though, this was my first choice on the first day that I went apartment hunting. So the first day I went, we looked at 4 places, and then the second day we also looked at 4 places. So out of the 4, this was actually my top pick. What's interesting is like there's 2 doors that lead to the outside because it's a pet-friendly apartment. So one door is like outside of the building and one door is like inside of the building. But like, yeah, I wasn't in love with the fact that it was on the first floor because I really like sunlight. So this was okay. I wasn't in love with it. So the second place that I went to was a whole 2-room apartment, which was, I mean, I really liked the size. I wasn't in love with the fact that it was on the first floor. So like, you know, usually apartments on like the lower floors, they have bars on the windows. So it kind of made me feel a little bit like it was in a jail cell. But it was really big. Like I really liked the size. Like, I had like a smaller room to use as an office. The bedroom was like really big and everything. So size-wise, this was like amazing, but it wasn't like the newest apartment. It wasn't the cleanest. I was a little worried because it was an older building. Wasn't in love with the pink bathroom, but I mean, size-wise, this was actually like the biggest apartment that we saw during the first day, so I really liked that. Okay, so the third apartment that we looked at, this was also in an old building. I like the size. Okay, I like the fact that there was a terrace on this one. I actually liked this one better than the 2-room that we saw. So this was a 1.5 room, and the video was like very haphazardly taken because people still lived in this house, so I didn't really want to like accidentally take a video of like some private or like personal stuff. But this is an older building, and I wasn't in love with the facade of the building as well because it was like bright orange, and then like the pipes were all visible, and like the building in and of itself was like not very nice. And this was on the 3rd floor with no elevator, so that was like a little bit of a bummer on my end as well. And honestly, at this point I was like, I'm probably not gonna find a place that I really liked today. And to be honest, like the first day that we went house hunting, like I wasn't really expecting to find like my dream apartment on that day because like it was obviously like my first day. So at this point I was like, okay, maybe I should try like a different neighborhood or a different realtor or whatever. And then they showed me this apartment next where like the building, first of all, the building is really nice. It was very brand new. Like they were literally like still building it. Like the kitchen was not existent at this time, but this was over my budget. It was over $1,000,001, but it was so bright, and then it was really nice. Like there was like a dedicated like a little living room space, and there was like a bedroom too, and the bedroom was actually pretty wide. So this room was like really pretty and like very new, obviously, right? So I really liked it, but it was farther out. Like it was farther from my workplace. It was like a little far from the subway station, and even though I really liked the room, I wasn't like super convinced that I would want to move here just because it felt very far from everything, if that makes sense. I mean, it was also over budget, so there's that too. The bathroom was a little small. I was hoping for something with like a shower stall maybe, or like at least a separate shower, because right now my shower is connected to the sink. Obviously it's like a privilege that I can actually even look at apartments in general or have housing in general. So that was the last apartment that we saw for the first day. Actually, after this first day, I was like, is my budget too small like for what I want? Because I want at least a 1.5 room, because I really want to separate my office space with my bedroom. So ideally that is what I wanted. So after this day, I was kind of like, am I not going to be able to find a place that I really like with this amount of money? Like I was kind of doubting myself, because I had a lot of criteria for finding a place. Like I really wanted a bigger place, I wanted good sunlight, I wanted it to be not too old, I wanted there to be an elevator and all of these stuff. And I was just like, maybe I need to lower my standards, because like yeah, I was afraid that I was just gonna be like disappointing myself. But it's not true. So yesterday was the day I went on my second apartment viewing. So this was with a different realtor, and I don't know what it is. It may be the real estate agent, but the quality of the rooms were actually like so different from like what I saw from my first day. Like I'm so glad I wasn't pressured to like sign anything on like the first day that we looked at places, because yesterday it was actually so fun. The realtors were like also really nice. Like don't get me wrong, the first day they were also really nice, but then I guess like they felt like I didn't really like any of the properties that they showed me, and then they were kind of like a little frustrated maybe that I was like kind of indecisive about everything. So like after viewing the last property, they actually just dropped us off there. Like I thought they were gonna drive us back to the real estate agency, but they were just like, you know, I think it'd be a good idea for you to walk around this neighborhood, so we'll just leave you here. I don't know if that's like standard, but maybe it is, I don't know. But anyways, like the second a batch of realtors that worked with us was like, they were so nice yesterday. And then so we saw a total of 4 properties. The 4th one is the one I actually ended up signing for, but I will not be showing you that in today's video. So you guys will have to wait to see, because I don't want to spoil it yet. But I do move in on like July 14th, so yeah, it might be end of July before I can cook up a moving in plus decorating vlog. So I guess you'll just have to stay tuned until then. But without further ado, let us look through all of the 3 apartments that the realtor showed us. So the first one was an older building. It was very clean though, like you know those like red brick buildings in Korea, if you've ever been. It was in one of those buildings, but the interior of the villa was actually like very clean, so I was like pleasantly surprised. And the room was so big, like it was even bigger than the 2-room that I saw on my first day of house hunting. And so this one had like a terrace, it had like a pretty spacious kitchen, there was a big bathroom. This villa didn't have like the bars on the windows, which I like really liked. Like there was so much sunlight, it was so bright. Like I actually really liked this place. Like this was my top pick before they showed me like the final 4th one, which was what I ended up choosing. I guess the only thing I didn't particularly like about it is it was on the 2nd floor with no elevator, which is like not a deal breaker, but then I just have like horrific memories of me trying to lug like my 23 kg luggage whenever I go to like Philippines or like go abroad up like the stairs here. So I really wanted a place with an elevator, but that's just like a nice to have. It's not like, you know, a deal breaker or anything. So I guess that was the only thing that was like that I had a problem with for this apartment. Okay, so for the 2nd apartment they showed us, it was a loft. Lofts are very I'd say like they're pretty popular in Korea. It is kind of romanticized on social media as well. And they do tend to be cheaper than like if you would get like a 1.5 room, because like you kind of use space on top. The interesting thing about this loft is you can actually stand on the loft, which I personally really liked, but it was a little small. Like the loft was small, and then like the 1st floor was also quite small, the bathroom was small. Like the ultimate reason why I want to like move out of here is because I wanted like a bigger place, and then like I just can't see myself living there. The size was just not it, and honestly I'm not in love with the idea of a loft. And the sunlight was a little lacking here, which was interesting because it was actually on like the top floor of like a building, so that was a little bummer. It was quite dark, so I didn't love this place. Like I saw it immediately and I was like, I don't know about this one. So yeah, but it was nice to have been shown the option of having a loft. It was just not for me. Yeah. Okay, so I will show you guys the last apartment. So this was an office-tel, and if you guys don't know what an office-tel is, it's basically like a multi-purpose building. So usually there would be like commercial stuff at the bottom, and then the top floors would be like residential areas. Office-tels usually tend to be more expensive because they have more maintenance fees. So this one was actually quite over budget because of the maintenance fees, but it was like a very clean new office-tel. I had like a shower stall, which is really nice. It is a 1.5 office-tel, and it came with like a desk that like rolls out to be like an L-shaped desk, which was pretty interesting. Like I really liked that, but it wasn't too big. That was my number one qualm with it. Like I really liked the place, but it wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. It was also over budget, so yeah. So the final apartment that I ended up choosing, I have a security deposit of 10 million won, and my rent is 1 million flat. So that includes internet and cable, but I do need to pay electricity, gas, and water separately. 1 million including the maintenance fees is like better than I thought. It is definitely on the higher end of my budget, but I really like the place. I think it's pretty worth it, and I'm like at home most of the time anyways, so might as well enjoy the place that I live in. And yeah, I guess that is where I leave you guys. I hope you're curious to see what my next apartment looks like. I have not talked in front of a camera for this long in a while, so if you guys are still here, thank you so much for sticking around, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!